Welcome back to Auterion Live with Romeo here on the couch with Lorenz Meier. Okay, this topic is really something where even I have trouble following along. It's something that's, in the end user perspective, you never see it. But it has such a big function because we need to get data of the payload into our Auterion software solutions. And that piece is something that's not really done in the open source community because it may be a little bit boring. And so it really needs a technology that does that. And what exactly is that?
So in general, you can say about open source communities that they're typically really good at coalescing around one core problem. Like in our case, it is around keeping the drone in the air, improving flight performance. And it's exciting because you can go out and flight test and improve the flight performance. You can dream up crazy vehicles with X many propellers and X many wings and control surfaces. And that's exactly what the cargo drone industry is doing right now. And then there are the things that really matter to the end user, as you said, but are extremely boring, like, for example, getting images off a Sony camera or a Trillium gimbal or a Workswell camera, and then doing something useful with that. And the consequence is that so far the state of the art in the drone industry is that the camera takes the pictures and puts them on the SD card. And for those of you who are old enough, and I'm starting to feel really old, there were cell phones that did that, like they took pictures and they stored it on the SD card. And that was already better because you now had a camera in your pocket, a horrible camera, but it kind of missed the point. That's not the level of smartphone we think of today, and it hasn't been that transformative. For the normal point-and-shoot cameras were still the dominating technology. Now, what we're doing with Auterion is we're reimagining how an end operator, end user in this industry is capturing data. And that means you should not have to think about it. The same way as anybody today just assumes that if you take a picture, of course it's on your laptop. Of course it's in your browser. Like, why would you take something out of your cell phone because the cell phone is connected? I mean, that's totally crazy. And the same will be true in the drone industry, where a drone is a connected smart device. Of course the payload data is in the cloud with 5G. Of course you have that already associated with a flight. I mean, talking about SD cards will, in a year or two, be so weird. The same way as it is weird to bring your point-and-shoot camera, like a small one, not a DSLR, to any occasion. People will look weird at you today. So that's what Auterion does with its payload management software component, which does the boring job of interfacing to pretty much any camera that is interesting in this industry today, bring that data, geotagging it, PPK tagging it, and bring it to the Auterion cloud, where as an enterprise, you can now pull the data from your drone with a simple API call, and you don't need to deal with SD cards anymore.
In one of my webinars a few weeks ago, I really talked about the near death of SD cards in the drone industry. And this is exactly the topic, because I really truly believe if we still had those cell phones with the SD cards in it, and you had to take out the SD card and put it in your laptop, offload the image and do your Photoshop magic there, and then upload it to your Instagram account, we would have fewer influencers today. But the good thing is the concept of data connectivity exists if we just look at the cell phone industry already, and that's where we want to go. And so in our next segment, we're going to talk about a hardware component that kind of makes all of this possible. Skynote. Stay tuned.